Aw, shit, motherflowers. We are literally now, if memory serves me correctly, we're like, what, 13, 12 days away from WrestleMania. And fasten your seatbelt because it's going to be 8 hours long and 17 matches in. But you know what, though? This is actually the third installment of our WrestleMania Retro Review. This is Teamheel Podcast Extra. Thank you all for listening here. If you're new to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/HeelSteven, make sure you dorks hit that subscribe button down below. As always, dorks, you can follow the Teamheel Podcast on Twitter at Teamheel Podcast. Follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven. And while you're at it, give this a big old thumbs up. As always, I am the Dork Slayer himself. It's Steve. And I'm here joined by two awesome, sick, twisted motherflowers as always. He's all the way in the mean streets of Bridgeport, Connecticut. They call him the Queen Slayer. That's KWEEN Slayer. The panty dropper. Mr. I just fucked your bitch. Mr. I just came in your bitch while you were watching me. The one, the only. Walter. I know, Jesus Christ. Goddamn, brother. Take it easy. Take it easy, Walter. Take it easy.
I think that gets vulgar about a week.
You know, right?
We got the Queen Slayer and the Dork Slayer now, so yeah, I don't mind it. You know, that's a nice combo. But yeah, I'm getting ready finally. Well, last year's, our last week's mania was good, but now we're getting to like a really good mania, so I'm kind of excited.
And of course, you heard him already in the background. The man with the golden charm, the one, the only, Big Mike from Big Mike Wrestling Recap Show. Big Mike. What up, bruh?
Man, I'm chilling, man. WrestleMania weekend, you can feel it in the air, all the boredom and all the good stuff.
Come on, man. Aren't you excited, though? Dude, the Kurt Angle and Baron Corbin, dude. But listen, about all that, we're going to get into all that tomorrow live on the Teamheel Podcast, episode 286. So make sure you guys tune in for that. Next, literally tomorrow, Friday. But this is the WrestleMania Retro Recap. Listen, guys, we are getting close to WrestleMania, so that means this is about to end for all of us. Oh boy, no. I hope not. This is fun. This has been fun. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. So, the last couple of weeks, we've recapped WrestleMania after WrestleMania. This is the third one now. So, we started off with WrestleMania 11, 1995. That was torture. It really, really was. We then went into WrestleMania 23, Mike's favorite WrestleMania, because he was there in Detroit at Ford Field, right? Which was a good WrestleMania. I enjoyed it. And now we're going to get into a WrestleMania that, for a lot of people, is considered to be the best Mania ever. Mike, what WrestleMania are we talking about here, Mike?
We are talking about WrestleMania X7.
That's right, guys. WrestleMania 17. X7, 17. You kind of get the gist, guys. It basically means the same old shit here. All right. WrestleMania 17 took place on April 1st, 2001 from Houston, Texas at the Reliant Astrodome. I always call it the Astrodome, but I didn't know they were calling it the Reliant Astrodome. Okay.
I thought it was just Astrodome.
Me too. The Reliant. And now, to my understanding, the stadium is not even being used anymore because the Houston Astros, they now use Minute Maid Park, right?
It's a beautiful park also. I've been there before. Which,
by the way, to my understanding, it's going to be the home of next year's Royal Rumble, right? Minute Maid Park. Am I right on that one?
Well,
you are correct, sir.
Minute Maid Park. Now, I remember about that place. Canelo fought there a couple of years ago. He fought... I forgot who he fought, but he knocked this dude out, though, like 3 rounds and shit. That's all I remember about that. But that's around the point. You guys don't give a fuck about that. Speaking of around the point, last Sunday was our return of Around the Point, and we're back again this Sunday with our next installment of Around the Point. Just so you guys know, it's our Sunday show. So tune in every single Sunday for Around the Point. But gentlemen, WrestleMania 17, the live attendance was 67,925. Now, again, they usually over-exaggerate shit, but it grossed about $3.5 million. Houston, we have a problem. And boy, oh boy, did they ever. This, again, by a lot of people, is considered to be the greatest WrestleMania of all time. Keep this in mind, too. 2001, this was literally the end of the Monday Night War. WWE defeated WCW. Vince McMahon finally claimed victory over WCW. He bought WCW out. So, again, for WWE, this was full swing ahead. This was like, they won the war. God damn, finally, right? After eating shit to plates for 83 weeks, and now here they are now. They are the last one standing.
Right, man. It's kind of cool to see, all of the events leading up to, WrestleMania 17. You had the buying out of WCW, end of an era. Pretty much everybody being welcomed back into the WWE, then WWF, through this show. And, this, I guess it's cool, but it's not in the same time, because this is when wrestling began to die. So to speak.
Come on, man, Mike.
Don't say that.
Well,
kind of right.
Competition died.
Yeah, I guess so. But Mike, you gotta remember, like a year after, TNA came around, dude. Impact Wrestling came around, buddy, and when they came around, hey man, hey pal, they were something at one time.
Then ROH come around too.
ROH came around too, but
around a couple years later after that too, yeah.
Exactly. So, and now look where they're at now. Ring of Honor about to do a show at Madison Square Garden, while Impact Wrestling is being relegated to the Rahway Rec Center.
This is a total rebrand Impact Wrestling. That's
hey man, but still, man,
and ROH is getting help with another major promotion.
I know. Anywho, it's not about any of that. It's about WrestleMania 17. Okay, guys.
Exactly.
So I was around, if I'm not mistaken here, if I can remember correctly here, I was about, I want to say 11 years old at the time when this show took place. I was 11.
I was 6, 5 going on 6.
And Walter was still like a toddler and shit, I think, right?
Walter, you toddler? Yeah, your damn mind. I was probably at least in kindergarten.
So you guys didn't get. So you guys weren't even fans when this show came out, right? You guys weren't even like.
I became
I wasn't a hardcore fan, but I knew who Stone Cold was at the time, and The Rock. Everyone talked about them, so
of course they did. Absolutely.
I wasn't a hardcore fan, but yeah, no, I mean,
yeah, I became a hardcore the year after in 2002.
Yeah, probably when Ruthless Aggression started. I think that's when I started watching a little more.
Yeah. So, again, and I hate to be repetitive with this shit, but people were calling this, again, the greatest WrestleMania of all time. And again, it's hard to argue it when you look at the card, the people that were on this show, and everything that happened. But to me, when I look back on this show, to me, it was the end of the Attitude Era. That's what I always remember WrestleMania 17 as, the end of the Attitude Era. In my opinion. But, again, guys, we as always want to hear from you dorks in the comment threads of the stream, or not even the stream, but the premiere. Once it becomes premiered, you guys can talk in the chat or in the comment threads, what have you. Or if not, let us know on Twitter at Teamheel Podcast and give us your thoughts on your recollection, your memory of WrestleMania X7 and all that fun stuff. So, guys, I am looking at the match card right now. There's 12 matches on this card. Now, keep this in mind. One was a dark match. I guess it was on Sunday Night Heat. To kick off the show, you had X Factor of just Incredible. Almost Justin Gabriel. I don't know why. Just Incredible and X-Pac, who's going to go into the Hall of Fame, with Albert, versus Grandmaster Sexay and Steve Blackman. And this match went about 2 minutes and 46 seconds on Sunday Night Heat. And then we kick off to the main card. And before the thing even kicked off, they had a video package with Classy Freak Blassie, which I thought was very well done. Very well done at the time, for what they were doing back in the early 2000s. No, granted, now you look at WrestleMania, right? They literally go balls out with their WrestleMania intros. They do. They go balls out.
I actually thought this was better than some of the stuff in recent memory.
Exactly. It was simple and to the point.
This intro was great, and it was
Yeah,
like
it
a
was.
minute
It
long.
pumped me up.
But what I'm saying is though, like, and I get that. I agree with you guys completely on that. But what I'm referring to is the fact that over like these last couple of years, right, WWE, they tend to go balls out with their intros.
Oh yeah, they go up.
Yeah,
I remember
it definitely works.
last year WrestleMania, they were in Bourbon Street. That people going crazy on Bourbon Street in the French Quarter going crazy. WrestleMania 30, was it 31? They had an LL Cool J. Remember it was that digital play button? Like, remember that? Right?
Oh my.
yeah.
WrestleMania 32, they played Fort Minor Project, right? In the fact it's in Cowboy Stadium and the Gladiator Dome, some shit like that, right? So yeah, they were calling it the Home of the Gladiators, whatever, right? It was the rise of the Roman Empire, right? But that's beside the point, though. Like, this was simple. They didn't go crazy with it. It was classy, very blast. Talking about WrestleMania, where again where stars become legends and stars are born and stuff like that. It's simple. I did like it. I did. I totally fucking did. And then we kick off to, I thought, again, my favorite WrestleMania theme song to a show, that's Limp Bizkit with My Way.
Yeah.
Oh really?
To me, it was. What? At the time? I ain't gonna lie, but do you have any idea?
It was the shit back then.
Do you have any idea?
Yeah, Limp Bizkit was the hot thing back then.
Do you have any idea how many times?
Not anymore, but
Yeah,
like,
anymore. He kind of got played out like in 04.
Like, do you guys have any idea how many times, like on Z100 or back in the time here over here in the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, I'm sure Connecticut, right? Walton, Connecticut too, Z100.
Yeah, they got that here.
Like, they're playing that
it's a
song,
Long Island radio station.
They're playing that shit. They're playing that shit every single time that song back in the day. Even MTV, when MTV2 was becoming a hit, right? When they were playing the music videos in MTV2, they were playing that song like crazy too. Back in the day, I'm talking, okay? Nowadays, MTV is shit. Z100 is, I guess, like Walt is in Long Island, even though they claim they're on top of the Empire State Building, but they're really not.
Nowadays, they play some random pop song for WrestleMania.
Exactly.
That doesn't get me excited.
I know. But that's the point, though. Now they'll play some Flo Rida. They'll play some Pitbull. They'll play some...
WrestleMania 33 was... it felt like you was getting mind tricked.
I'm just going to say this right now, and you know what? You know what will be a good WrestleMania theme song? And guys, I want you guys to also chat me up in the comment threads, or if not, let us know on Twitter at Teamheel Podcast, or let us know what would you like to hear as a WrestleMania theme song. To me, and I know people say, "Oh hell no, I know it's about to happen." If it's not for WrestleMania, then for SummerSlam, "Happy" by Pharrell, yo.
No,
I would, yo. I'm happy.
What? Hell no,
dude. You know how many people?
H-E-L-L-N-O.
No, bro. No.
Let's say yeah, bro.
No.
What would you take?
I don't know, man. I think you gotta get like pumped. I think.
We know who I would pick already.
It ain't gonna be no Bad Bunny neither.
Yeah. Hey man, he was featured on GQ's YouTube channel. All right, bro. He brought the Winged Eagle title.
Who is that?
GQ. The magazine?
Yeah. Oh, the magazine? Okay.
GQ, bro. GQ magazine. They have a YouTube channel, and they featured Bad Bunny. And in the interview, they talk about all 10 things that he can't go without, right? And in the video, he referenced the WWE champion, the Winged Eagle belt. So again, guys, Bad Bunny's on the ship, but I'm telling you guys right now. But that's around the point. I know this is not about Bad Bunny, even though I think he'll be at WrestleMania. We might get upgraded, so we'll see. Anyway, let's get into the review here, guys. Let's get to the steak and potatoes of what is, for a lot of people, a lot of these dorks out there, the best WrestleMania of all time, right? So we kick things off with Chris Jericho versus William Regal for the Intercontinental Championship. The story behind this is William Regal became the commissioner of the WWF at the time, right? And Jericho wasn't having it, and I guess because Jericho was disrespectful to him, he basically had him go through all these obstacles, beatdowns and handicap matches and shit like that, to the point where Jericho once peed in William Regal's tea, which led to the match at WrestleMania 17. This is where they're at now to kick off the show for the Intercontinental Championship. The match went about 7 minutes and 8 seconds. I thought for what it was, okay, it was a good way to kick off the show. Again, you want to kick things off with a bang, right? Jericho at the time was red hot. Let's be real about it. As far as star power, momentum, right? And the match, I'll say this, it was going well, right? Again, it was back and forth. William locked into a real stretch. Jericho did some stuff as well. It was pretty good. And then the ending happened. I felt the ending was just flat, where Jericho just hits the line salt, and that was it. And that was the end of it.
I thought that was weird too.
Yeah, the opening match was just, I don't know. I didn't want to say it was bad because at least we got like a little video package for it. Obviously during Regal's entrance, because why not?
I know, right?
But overall, like, I guess it was an okay way to open the show, but it's like, yeah, Jericho's line salt was I don't want to say he botched it, but it was like kind of a weird ending.
Exactly. It really was kind of a weird, because I feel like, okay, at least go like an extra, I don't know. Yeah, granted, it was 7 minutes and 8 seconds. At least give them like 5 more minutes in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be a 20-minute classic or anything.
It doesn't have to, of course. Absolutely. It doesn't have to be a 20-minute classic. But I think, again, on paper, you're like, oh, God, these two guys can go out. They can just tear it up. That's what you expect. And goddamn, it's like, like, fuck it. Give them 7 minutes out there. And again, it wasn't a bad match. We're not saying it's a bad match. We just felt the ending was weird. Completely weird. But Jericho retained the Intercontinental title. And that's how we kicked off WrestleMania 17. And by the way, too, also on commentary, I gotta say this too. Paul Heyman and Jim Ross on commentary.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. I get what they're trying to go with. They're trying to have Paul Heyman on commentary throw jabs at Jim Ross throughout the whole fucking night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And wasn't this in the midst of Jerry King Lawler leaving because of Miss Kitty?
I think it was the month before. And yeah, from the way out 2001, which we might recap one day. You never know. We might recap it down the road if you guys want us to. But yeah, I believe so. It was like a month before that, and they brought in Paul Heyman, even though, at the time, WCW closed the doors and they brought him in. And he referenced, I'm the owner of ECW, Paulie Dangerously, now here I am on the grand stage of WrestleMania shit. And you look at Jim Ross's face like, nigga, come on, bro. Calm the fuck down, man. Calm the fuck down, all right? Let it go, man. Let it fucking go. You're making us look bad and shit, all right?
He's not gonna let it go. Come on.
Like, seriously, that the whole night, oh, people wear cowboy hats is stupid and shit and crap like that. You know what I mean? But that's beside the point, though. That's beside the fucking point. Just thought I'd point that out. We then get the second match of the night. We get a 6-man tag player. We get Taz in the APA. Talk about a weird combination. With Jacqueline versus the Right to Censor of Bull Buchanan, a name you don't hear about that often anymore. The Good Father, or the Godfather, however you want to call him, and Val Venus, accompanied by Stevie Richards. And this match just felt dead. It was basically, again, it would bring out the Texas guy, right? And Bradshaw, right? And again, people just didn't give a shit about this match. They didn't really give a fuck. And I remember as a kid, the Right to Censor were annoying as fuck. I remember that. As a child, I used to hate those guys. They were the party pooper. I remember as a young me watching the Cat on SmackDown trying to take off her clothes, and out come these dorks trying to fucking interrupt it. And I'm like, God damn it, yo. And again, this is young heel Steven at the time, right? So, again, imaginations and thoughts happen, okay? Relax. But, I used to hate these guys. I used to hate them. You know what I mean? And watching them here, it reminded me why I hate these guys so badly. Like Stevie Richards was about to talk, and that gets interrupted by the entrance of Taz and the APA. And again, the match went literally 3 minutes and 52 seconds. Not even the shortest match on the show. That's how sad this was.
Very sad.
Very sad.
I mean, they had to put these guys on the card. Just to fill up some time. Yeah, this could have been used for Jericho and Regal. Probably, it probably didn't have to be there. But let's to get Taz and the APA on the show. To be honest, just to get them on there. So it's all right. It was only 4 minutes. There's nothing to complain about, really.
Big Mike, anything you want to say before we move on to the next match?
The only thing I really liked about this was before the match where Bradshaw went on that tirade.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's the only thing I like about it.
Okay, fair enough. We then get the fourth match on the show. Imagine that, believe it or not, I actually enjoyed. A clusterfuck, I ain't gonna lie, but I enjoyed it for what it was. Because at the time, I was a big fan of Raven. And we have Raven defending the Hardcore Championship versus Big Show and Kane in a triple threat hardcore match. Can we talk about how the show almost got ruined because of this match?
Because of the entrance? Because of the finish?
No. So apparently, if you guys remember, in the match, right, I think Big Show threw Raven into like a fence, right, with the golf cart, whatever. You guys remember that? The part of the match where they're driving the little golf cart, and I guess they crashed into a fence that had cables and shit. And apparently, from what I remember, I think Raven said this on a shoe interview or something like that, that if they would have pulled one of those cables, the whole show would have been fucked.
Oh, man.
Like electric cables or
like a power
cable?
No,
that's probably all of the cables to the production trucks and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
If they would have hit those cables, like pulled them and shit, it would have been a wrap.
Shit.
And the fact that, I'm sorry, but even though he didn't win, Raven was the MVP of this match. The fucker got tossed into a fucking glass window.
He got tossed everywhere.
That was probably the highlight of the match. Him getting tossed through that glass picture window.
He was bleeding all over the place. And he still fought on. Yeah, granted, it was Big Show and Kane fighting the whole time too and shit. But, yeah, if you think about it, if you gotta give somebody the MVP, it's gotta be fucking Raven. It has to be fucking Raven. How do you not give it a fucking Raven? I'm sorry.
His leg pretty much almost got ran over.
Yeah, he did.
I mean that was a pretty cool. Like I said, this match probably shouldn't have been good, and it probably wasn't, I guess, in a way. But I did enjoy it as well. I don't know, it was weird. I just liked, I guess, the spots in it where the walls were breaking, and it was something different. Now, obviously, you don't see that nowadays, but it was part of the Attitude Era, and I thought it was a nice way to mix that in. And why not? The stage, the finish was good too. And I mean, I know people probably didn't like it, but I thought it was fun to watch.
Absolutely. Big Mike, what about you, bro? Anything else you want to add before we wrap up here? Move on to the next match, because this match went about 9 minutes and 17 seconds.
Yeah, not that long.
Yeah. The funniest thing that I liked about this match was when Kane and Big Show was fighting. They were slowly pushing each other up against the wall, trying to figure out where the wall was that they fell through slowly to get to the other side. I think that was funny.
Yeah, it really
when
was.
When fighting choke slams.
Yeah, it really was. And one thing that too, the fact that again, the Hardcore Championship back in the day, the fact that it goes anywhere. Even what I'm surprised didn't influence the 24-hour rule, because at the time it was still a thing. 24 hours, it can be defended anytime, any place, and I'm surprised it didn't allow that for more guys. I remember the year after, right, WrestleMania was at 18. It was Maven and Goldust, and out came Crash Holly, out came Spike Dudley, all came out Snow in the back, and then who was it? Molly Holly pinned a Hurricane, and maybe at the end of the night got the belt back and shit like that. I remember, but again, it's just that detail. But
Everyone
again,
had that belt.
exactly, everyone had the belt. Everyone had it. Even you had the belt at one time. It got to that point, right? But the point of the matter is, though, again, this match, when you think about it, it wasn't supposed to be a good match. It was meant to be a clusterfuck. But in essence, again, sometimes what's supposed to be set up as a clusterfuck ends up being a good match. Or memorable, that is. But again, and I hate being repetitive with this shit, the MVP was Raven. Hands fucking down.
I didn't know he was a 27-time hardcore champion.
I think that's exact. I think
Is that between WCW and WWF?
That's WWF. Cause I remember.
Jesus Christ!
Cause you gotta remember, dude. 24-hour rule, dude. 24/7. And no, we're not talking about LMA and Meek Mills. All right, just saying. 24/7.
It did have the 24/7 rule, but I mean, I think they ended it the year after.
No. They ended it when they vacated the belt. When they fucking decided to uncontinue the title, whatever. So there was that. We then move on to Eddie Guerrero, rest in peace, versus Test, rest in peace, for the European Championship. Now, here's the thing about it, looking back at this WrestleMania, this totally slipped my mind. It's a match you don't really remember, really. Huh? And here's the thing about it, okay? Nothing. Again, I thought the match was okay. Just had a lot of interference from the Radicals. You had Perry Saturn getting involved. You had Dean Malenko getting involved. Test really, again, had his leg worked by Eddie Guerrero. But it was all said and done. Eddie Guerrero ended up walking out with help of the Radicals as the new European champion. This match went about 8 minutes and 30 seconds. Mike, what are your memories of this match and your thoughts overall watching it back now? Because we had to do this for the review.
Thought this match was all right. You know, it was there. Perry Saturn's get up was weird.
Lugs.
Yeah, was this pre-Moppy or post-Moppy?
That'd be pre-Moppy. Remember the invasion didn't happen.
Oh, it was during the invasion. Okay, all right.
It didn't happen. Remember the invasion didn't.
It was just there. It was a their match.
Remember, the invasion didn't really take place until months after, but I get what you mean, though, bro. What about you, Walty? Chat me up here, Queen Slayer.
These two. Can you consider Test a legend?
No.
You know,
it's debatable.
He was a nice big man, I guess, but they clearly were pushing him to the moon. Well, they were gonna try, and stuff happened. But I mean, the match itself was okay. It was definitely one of the, if we want to look at the whole card, I guess one of the worst. I can't even say the worst match because there was two matches that didn't even last 3-4 minutes.
Yeah,
but for 8 minute and 30-second match, it was fine. I'm glad to see Eddie win.
I guess we can all agree here, and again, we're not trying to be again, respect the dead all you want. I get that, but again, I know people might give a shit for it because again, how dare us, right? How dare us, right? But I feel like when you look back on it, this match really shouldn't have been on the WrestleMania card. That's just my opinion. Would you guys agree with that too, Mike, Walter?
What did you say?
Basically, okay, again, there's like a Skype issue here. So, we're not trying to disrespect the dead. We're not. By no means at all.
Oh, man, come on.
But, because again, here's the thing, bro. You know how these dorks are nowadays. These dorks are very sensitive and shit, alright? If these dorks are buying into this whole fucking Barry Corbin angle and Kofi Kingston's push being debunked and crap, again, they'll buy into anything. The point of the matter is, again, when you look back on this match, it wasn't a bad match at all. Okay, it was okay, but it wasn't really meant to be on a WrestleMania card. This could have easily been on the kickoff show. I'm sorry, Sunday Night Heat at the time.
Hey.
Would y'all agree with that, Mike, Walter?
Yeah, I
That
agree.
Sunday Night Heat. Well, I guess they could have done it. Trust me, in 2019, if that match happened, that would have been on the pre-show. But because they had a lot of titles at the time, remember? I mean, why did you have about 3, 4 mid-card titles? Like, what was the point of that? They all got defended pretty early too, so I agree. It's just, I guess they just needed to add this title match on the card.
Okay, fair enough. We then had Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit. I'm sorry, his name who should not be mentioned, but fuck it, we already mentioned him already because we did a Rumble retro review where he won the Rumble #1. That same guy. And speaking of him, Mike, which WrestleMania are we talking about next week?
WrestleMania 20.
Oh boy. Okay, features him too. Okay, so there you go. Yeah, Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit. This match, and again, listen, they've had classics before, right? Prior to this, even after this match, they've had classics, and right. I guess the build-up here is the fact that Kurt Angle tapped out to the crippled crossface, and in Angle's eyes, oh my god, because there was a segment backstage before the match with Edge and Christian, where he's watching the tape where he tapped out. He's like, oh, but if there wasn't a match and the bell didn't ring, and there's not a referee, and it wasn't really official, then it doesn't really count that I tapped out. Something in that degree. And again, it was like comedic Angle at the time, and the year before that, they talked about how Angle went in as both the European and Intercontinental Champion. He lost both titles to Jericho and Benoit the year before that, and now here we are a year later, and it's Angle and Benoit again. And it was a fun match. I enjoyed it for what it was. And again, it's one of many of their what was to be classic matches over the years after, if you will, right? You fast forward from at that time, 2 years later, they have that classic match at the Rumble, 2003. Again, these two guys, just had that good chemistry about them. Say what you want about them, it is what it is, but these two guys, when the bell rang, they knew what to do. This match went about 14 minutes and 4 seconds where Kurt Angle defeated Chris Benoit. Gentlemen, talk me up here. Chat me up.
This was, this match was, I kind of liked it. Obviously the beginning was just pure mat wrestling, and, every guy who likes technical wrestling, I would assume they like this match, right? I mean, just a lot of technical stuff going on here, and, near the end, there was actually a few false finishes, I guess. Probably 1 or 2. With Benoit kicking out of the what do they call it? The Olympic Slam, the Angle Olympic Slam. It's the Angle Slam, but I really thought they called it the Olympic Slam too. I was like, what the heck is that?
At first, they did. They called it the Angle Slam.
At first, they were calling it that, the Angle Olympic Slam or something like that, and then Chris did his diving headbutt that beat MVP. Remember WrestleMania 23? But it won't be Angle. Won't be Kurt Angle. I don't know what happened years later that it became so strong.
Man, all the chair shots to the head, Walter. Come on, bro, all the chair shots to the head.
I'm just saying, but then the match ended a roll up. I'm not a big fan of these roll up finishes, but I get it. It was to prolong the feuds, and we saw what happened backstage, so I'm okay with the ending of the match.
Yeah. I agree with you on that. Mike, what about you, brother?
Yeah, I gotta agree with everything Walter said. It's just really good technical match, and these guys had chemistry, and the freaking crowd hated Angle a lot.
Yeah. Indeed, they really did.
I actually like that theme song that Benoit had. I mean, I know it's the same one, but
it was the early thing that we know to love.
Exactly. Absolutely. And again, just some of many clouds they're gonna have years to come.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then we go to the shortest match in the history of the entire show. Yet Ivory defending the WWE Women's Championship versus Chyna. May she rest in peace. God damn, look at this card. There's many people that aren't even alive anymore. This is crazy.
Yeah. There's a lot of dead people on this card.
Exactly. Yeah. This match went about 2 minutes and 39 seconds. The build-up here was the fact that at the Royal Rumble, at the Rumble, China and Ivory had a match where the RTC got involved. And again, I'm telling you, it's about how much I hated this group back in the day, and where they injured China. And now China comes back, and it's a squash. It's basically China just demolishing Ivory. Ivory didn't have a single lick of offense in this entire match, and China walked out the new WWE Women's Champion. What I remember too about this show is China's pyro entrances, where she had like that giant pyro gun. She started shooting at the sky, which I thought was pretty cool. And also her theme song. I thought her theme song was also pretty good too, back in the day. That's just me, of course. Again, I was young. All right, so chillax, mother flowers, chillax, dorks. Walter, Mike, chat me up here.
Yeah, man, it was a little good match. This was the second to last WrestleMania that China had.
Yeah, it was just there. You know, I don't know how to say it. Was it really a match? China was just kind of dragging her the whole way, and I guess you want to spotlight her dominance. I guess could have made it more of a match, but she won. And I think that's all that matters.
Exactly. But again, it was a short match. China won. Now let's get into one of the key matches on the show. We had Vince McMahon versus Shane McMahon in a street fight with Mick Foley as the special guest referee. You had also Stephanie McMahon and Trish Stratus at ringside as they were wheeling out a vegetable Linda McMahon. I'm sorry, a Linda McMahon that didn't move at all until the end of the match. Keep this in mind, this is the same Linda McMahon that ran for Senate in Walter's beautiful state of Connecticut.
And failed twice.
And now she's under the Trump administration.
Absolutely.
And the build-up, is basically Vince buying WCW out and then Shane from underneath him signing the contract. So Shane allegedly owned WCW. This happened on the go-home show to WrestleMania 2. I believe this was March 25th or 26th, I think it was. Or it'd be 24th. I think it was 24th or the 26th episode of Monday Night Raw, where they were in Cleveland. WCW Nitro was in Panama City, Florida, where Shane was in Panama City, and he announced that he now owned WCW. And again, it was what I was talking about. And how fitting was it for WWE that this all happened literally on the go home show to on the go home show of WrestleMania, right? That the war ended. It was it. Like, granted, the war was done for years because WCW at this time was shit. But the point of the matter is the fact that they officially won it. It's over with. And ironically, the week after, WrestleMania, and apparently Vince wanted was to have Ted Turner walk out there and hand over the contract on that event, WrestleMania, but it didn't happen, obviously. And I enjoyed the storyline here as well. Hey, here's Vince McMahon who's snapped with power, right? He snapped with power, and he's making Trish Stratus take off her clothes and bark like a dog. Remember that?
Yeah, the infamous bark like a dog.
Listen, young me, I get it. Yeah, now it's fucked up. And again, a lot of these women nowadays with the Me Too movement and this feminist diehard whatever would go crazy for this shit. You'd be seeing these content creators and podcasters and YouTubers talk about how dare they do this now in today's wrestling. But back then, young me, young heel Steven, I thought this shit was amazing. What? Get to see Trish Stratus in her bra and panties? Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
I think anybody would want to see that back then.
Back then, yeah. But still, you kind of get the idea, though. They wouldn't do this. Like, you wouldn't see Vince McMahon forcing Alexa Bliss to take off her clothes in the middle of the ring.
Well, he wished he could have done that. But...
Or Carmella. Or who else is freaking against Mandy Rose. There you go, Mandy Rose, who I think is the top of the chain right now, right, top of the list, if you will. And the match itself was there again. I remember even the video package, right, where Vince and Trish are making that in front of Linda McMahon. And Linda's just sitting there in the wheelchair and shit.
Yeah, I wonder how she did that for a long period of time. Just sit there with the dull look.
It's probably rehearsed, probably practicing, dude. Practicing.
Like no blinking, no nothing. Just sit there.
Happens, dude. Practicing and shit. Or if not, they probably like recorded clips, like just. I guess what they probably did too. And again, I could be wrong on this. They took still shots of her just staring at the camera, not blinking, and just used that. But again, I could be wrong on that. The match itself, I thought was very good. I think again, one of the top matches on the card, and it delivered. The match went about 14 minutes, 12 seconds. Shane, for the first part of the match, had a lot of offense. They were outside the ring. Shane hit him with weapons and stuff like that until Shane decided to go for a dive to the outside of the table where he missed. And then Vince got offense as well, started beating him up. They brought out Linda with Trish Stratus. In this match, too, Trish Stratus turned on Vince McMahon, slapped him. She had a brawl with Stephanie. And then I remember this because, again, it's just one of those things that I remember about this match. Vince looks at Linda like, you bitch.
Mm-hmm.
How, like, again, does all this shit happen? Like, yo, again, this shit would not fly in today's wrestling. It wouldn't fly for a lot of these dorks on the internet.
No.
It would not fly. Right? How dare this man call his wife a bitch?
No, this was a whole. I mean, it doesn't matter that the wrestling, community has gotten soft in general. Like, you can't do it in 2019 because everything's gotten soft now. Like, you got to watch out what you're doing now. That's why WWE doesn't go that way anymore.
I know they don't.
They got to rely more on their in-ring wrestling in a way.
Absolutely. And it's the whole thing where, again, they even have this thing where McMahon attacks McFoley, and he brings Linda into the ring, sits her down, grabs the trash, starts beating up Shane, and then she gets up. She gets right up and low blows Vince. Yeah, it was a botched low blow because she hesitated. I caught that or not. She hesitated in the low blow kick.
Oh yeah, because she probably didn't want to kick him for real.
Yeah, but still, though, come on, right? In the family, in the McMahon fucking the crown jewels, right? I think JR referenced that on commentary. The crown jewels. If they only knew years later, they'd have a show called The Crown Jewels Saudi Arabia.
Crown Jewels.
Right, but to stay on that topic with Linda getting out of the chair, you can't buy a reaction like that nowadays. People sit on their hands. When she got out of that chair, the freaking place the top almost blew up the place. It's like, oh, she arisen, and then she fucking kicked them in the balls. Yep. And then they erupt even more. You can't buy a reaction like that nowadays.
No, you can't. And I agree with you on that 100%. You really cannot buy a reaction like that anymore. And again, sometimes the stuff that we see, it's like you just realize like nowadays this wouldn't work, right? And yeah, just a reason why I enjoyed the match for what it was. Also, the debut of Shane doing coast to coast.
Oh, this is his first time doing that?
The first time doing it.
It was his first time?
Yeah, that I can remember.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
yeah, because
okay.
they never said that, right? I don't think the announcers.
Where, again, he basically did for the first time. And you gotta think about this, too. That spot itself is featured in WrestleMania moments. When they do a video package, it's featured there. So that's how Shane won the match. 1, 2, 3, and he won, and yeah.
Yeah, I thought this was a really good match. Yeah, I agree.
A very, very good match. An enjoyable match.
Very entertaining sports entertainment-like match.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't think that this is like an in-ring wrestling match at all.
Exactly.
It's Vince and Shane. You know, they're just gonna go. They know what to do to make a match work, and it's not involving their in-ring wrestling. That's
Exactly.
the beauty of it.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, Walter. You hit the nail on the head there. Really, really. And then after this, and that's funny because you would think like in today's wrestling, right? After an amazing match where everyone's on their fucking feet, everyone's out of breath, they go to like a cool down match, right? Like the
That's
piss
what they do
break.
nowadays.
They didn't do it here.
Oh well, this card was so stacked that. Well, actually, no, you're right. They could have, if it was today's wrestling, that TLC match would have been on so early.
Oh yeah, that probably would have been the first match.
Yeah, then they would cool it down with like Guerrero and Tess, and then have Shane and McMahon, and cool it down with Taz and APA. So yeah, they could have done, but they put all the like undercard matches together, and it still wasn't that bad of a first, 2 hours.
Yeah. So here we go to again another amazing match. God damn, you're killing people here. God damn, right? We go to tables, ladders, and chairs too. Oh my! Edge and Christian versus the Dudley Boys versus the Hardy Boys for the WWE Tag Team Championships. Again? It was a fun match. Now, was it better than the first one? In my opinion, yeah, kind of was.
Of course it was.
The story here is, hey, Rhino took out Lita. They also took out Spike, which they would also factor in the match as well later on in the show, in this match as well. But again, just a crazy ass car crash, if you will. And people remember the big spots. Jeff Hardy doing the swanton on the outside. Jeff Hardy getting speared by Edge while Jeff Hardy was hanging onto the titles in midair, right? Matt and Bully Ray, I think also Devon running off a ladder onto the stacked tables and shit. People remember that,
right?
Like, you know what I mean? Rhino came out, so the Spikes, so did Lita. Lita got 3D'd. I think Rhino gored Spike, something like that. And it was all said and done. Rhino helped Edge and Christian become tag team champs again.
Yeah.
And that was the match. And again, it was a great match. I enjoyed it. And again, it's just that thing like, yo, in today's wrestling, this shit wouldn't slide. You're not going to have two banging matches back to back. In today's WWE, there's that, again, you have one banging match, and then you got to cool everybody off. And then back to their banging fucking match. And again, this is why I feel like, in a way, they kind of did some the network special did some tweaking to the show. In my opinion. They did some tweaking here.
What tweaking?
And I'll explain momentarily.
You honestly believe what you said when we were off there.
I'll explain later. I'll explain it later. But this match went about 15 minutes and 47 seconds. Guys, what do you got thoughts about this match overall and all that stuff?
Well, with this match, it's one of the most memorable matches of all time. Obviously, the best tag team match, in WWE history or in all of history, whatever you want to say. This is what started a TLC match, and this match everyone talks about when it comes to tag team wrestling. And going back to this show, there was a lot of nice matches on this show. But some people could arguably say that this was their favorite match of the night, and I wouldn't shit on them because this was one of the, I'd say 3-4 really good matches. There's so many good matches on this card, but you know what I mean. It's definitely a top 2, top 3. Fuck it, it's either 1 or 2. So, it was crazy. Jeff Hardy still killed. I don't know how Jeff Hardy still does it, man. Like, how is he still wrestling after seeing spots like this in 2001? I'm like, I don't know how he does it. But kudos to all those guys in there. And, they revolutionized it for everyone else.
They did. Absolutely. Absolutely. Mike?
Yeah, man. Like Walter said, man, Jeff Hardy doing all those crazy spots. Him and Edge, the spear off of the ladder while Jeff is hanging from the titles, and freaking Bubba Ray took the ladder up under Jess so he can just stay dangling. That was pretty sick. The Swanton before that spot happened onto, I believe, who was that he did the Swanton on the outside through the table?
I believe that was
Was it Divine?
That was Diva. I think also Rhino or Bubba Ray, one or the other.
Yeah, and then Matt and Bubba Ray going through the stacked tables. That was pretty much all of the sick the 6 spots in the match. Exactly. So yeah, it was an excellent match, back to back.
Indeed. Now, and again, this is the part where I'm talking about how I feel like they tweaked some shit here. After this, we get the gimmick battle royal. Now, I could have sworn the gimmick battle royal went on second to last on the actual show. And
I still think that.
I'm Dak. You think about it, right? After Triple H and Taker, yeah, Jim was talking about the gimmick battle royal coming up next, and it didn't happen next. Yeah.
I honestly don't remember that part.
So we had the gimmick, and again, this is what I'm talking about. Again, they tweak some shit here, okay? We had Iron
Wikipedia says the order's right.
I don't know, bro. Again, they go by the network. So we had the gimmick battle royal. You had Bobby Heenan and Mean Gene Okerlund. May they rest in peace. Be special guest commentators for the show.
Yeah, this was their welcome back from WCW.
Yeah. So in this match, you had Butch and Luke from the Bushwhackers, Duke the Dumpster Drossy, Doink the Clown, Mike's phone or Walter's phone going off like crazy, Nikolai Volkov, rest in peace, Tugboat, rest in peace. We had the Goon, who is basically, God damn it, where is he at? Barney William Irwin, right? You had Earthquake, rest in peace. The Gobbledygooker, who's Hector Guerrero. Brother Love, you know. Bruce Pritchard, by the way, from Something to Wrestle With. Michael P.S. Hayes from the Freebirds. One Man Gang. You had Kamala, accompanied by Harvey Whippleman. Michael's phone or Walter's phone again going off. Also in the match as well. Again, doing double duty in the show. Doing double duty. You had Kim Chi, who was the Brooklyn Brawler, basically. You had Jim Cornette, the Repo Man, and Sergeant Slaughter all in this match. And again, this match, I don't want to say it was a clusterfuck or it sucked. It just went by too quick. And again, a lot of them couldn't move like they used to and shit. This was probably the second shortest match on the show. Like, the moment the match started, people were just throwing each other over the top rope and not even like having an outfit to stay in the ring. It's going over, and then the next thing you know, it was down to the final 4. It was Iron Sheik, Hillbilly Jim, Sergeant Slaughter, and Brother Love. And the next thing you know, Sarge throws out Brother Love. Brother Love gets, my bad, Hacksaw. Hillbilly Jim throws out Sergeant Slaughter, and then out of nowhere, Iron Sheik from behind throws out the Hillbilly Jim, and then it's Iron Sheik celebrating in the ring, which leads to Sergeant Slaughter getting back in the ring, locking in the Cobra Clutch on Iron Sheik. Yeah, I feel like just bring out the legends. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
This was
wrong with the legends.
The original Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Hey, nah, this was not. These didn't involve all the jobbers and everyone. So.
Yeah, this match sort of reminded me of. You remember the Battle Royal at Evolution with all the women legends and how they were just getting dumped out, like all the old people, like Alundra Blaze. She didn't even do anything. She just got dumped out. This is how I felt watching this. You know, it was just as soon as the bell rang, people were just getting dumped out. No punches, no Irish whips, just dump me out, bro.
No care in the world, Mike.
No care in the world at all.
That was a shame, too. That was a big shame. Not a care in the world. Not a single care in the world. And then we get to
that gimmick ass battle royal.
Yeah, I know.
The Sheik one, at least, right? The Sheiky baby.
Yeah, Iron
Yeah,
Sheik. Yeah, Iron Sheik won it.
he didn't
Cheeky
stand
baby.
tall.
Yeah,
Cheeky baby.
Sergeant Slaughter. He had a.
Cheeky.
He was so pissed that he had to attack him after. What a heel.
I know, right? Cheeky baby. Team Cheeky baby won the match. And after this, we get Triple H and The Undertaker. The build up here is that the American Badass, and I guess he told Triple H, "You mess with me, I'll make you famous." And then Triple H attacked Undertaker backstage, and if you mess with me, I'll cripple you. And then this led to, I guess, Kane chasing Stephanie, about to dump her off like the stairway, whatever, right? And Regal begging Taker to stop, and basically what Taker won was a match with Triple H. So he got the match. And I thought again, listen, this is the match that WWE doesn't want you guys to remember. Right? They don't. Because in their eyes, their first match was WrestleMania 25. And I enjoyed this match. I really, really did. I really, really did. I think I'm one of the few people that actually did enjoy the American Badass gimmick. I know a lot of people was like, it's not really my cup of tea. I prefer the Dead Man. But this match was fun. You had Motorhead performing Triple H's theme song, right? Which I thought was very well done, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I have a soft spot for Triple H's theme song. Say what you want about Triple H. Oh my god, he had to have his mandatory WrestleMania match. But I'll always enjoy that theme song. I always will, especially at WrestleMania. You're right. So there's that. And again, it's a crazy match that's been back and forth. They're fighting in the crowd. There's a moment where they're fighting in the crowd, like by a balcony, right? And I guess Triple H is tossed over the balcony, right? Or the equipment area and shit. And he falls on the floor. And they're going at it and shit. It's back and forth. And again, keep this in mind, at this time, too, the streak wasn't even a thing. Like, yeah, he was undefeated, but it wasn't really referenced, like, wasn't pushed like crazy. Oh, he's undefeated at WrestleMania. That happened a year after, but it was all said and done. Taker won. The Undertaker won. He beat Triple H. What was your guys' memory about this match? Your thoughts overall, guys? Chat me up here. Mike, I'll start with you.
I really enjoyed the match. I really liked the first attempt on the last ride, and Triple H had the sledgehammer and he hit it. He hit Undertaker in the head and that busted him open. And this was sort of their first time, you know. Is this one of the first times somebody countered? Yeah. Is this one of the first times somebody countered the Tombstone?
I want to say so, yeah.
Oh, like that probably.
Yeah, so Triple H did it then, and then he did it again at end of an era. So, yeah, so that was cool, and yeah, I thought this was a really good match. You know, bloody, gritty, fought in the crowd. I think he chokeslammed off of that ledge onto the floor, which was very tall. And yeah, I don't know how Triple H took that bump. That he was a trooper for that. But yeah, I thought it was a really entertaining match. Really, really good match.
Now, Walter, your thoughts, bro. And that phone's going off again. I feel like
I apologize. I'm sorry.
Yes, at least you know it wasn't me, because I was about to freak out and find out how that's me. But anyway, this match, loved it. I loved the match. I mean, obviously, years later, they put on another classic, but obviously this wasn't the same Taker. And in terms of this one, though, you know, I loved how it was at first a regular match, and then they just went all out, you know, when the ref was down. And, you know, I really enjoyed the element of doing that, you know, taking advantage of, you know, when the ref is down, you're going to go all out. And they literally brawled through the crowd and everything. So that was fun, you know, and this match didn't have a lot of false finishes. So that was the best part of it. Like, you would think this match For a match like this to be really good, you need false finishes. No, they kind of didn't have any false finishes. I don't think Triple H ever hit the pedigree, or maybe he did. I can't remember. Well, I know he didn't count for a 1, 2, 3, and Taker, he didn't even hit the tombstone. So the fact that none of those things happened, really, as far as I can remember, and yet the match was still good, I say that's pretty impressive, you know, especially for Biker Taker, who, like you said, Steven, a lot of people didn't like, but I thought he was all right, you know. I mean, I don't think it should ever come back, really. You know, Taker's kind of just, I don't even know if people want it back, period. But the match itself, it was really good from two legends.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely here.
Two future Hall of Famers. They're not even Hall of Famers yet.
Sorry.
Well, one's gonna be.
Oh, yeah, you're right. One is going to be.
Exactly.
I'm talking about, you know, solo Hall of Famers.
Man, same thing. Walter, come on. Who are we kidding here? Well, stop tricking there.
What do you mean? Triple H is going to get his own induction, too? You think he's just going to get inducted as the X? Come on.
No, he's gonna
Who
be.
are you
He
kidding?
might be a dang 3-time Hall of Famer.
He'll be, yeah, Evolution's going to get inducted, too. So there you go. You think Triple H...
So is NXT, yo. So is NXT going to get inducted, too, bro. NXT's going to get inducted. He's going to be the recipient of the award, yo. Okay, then we get to the main event. The meat and potatoes of the entire show. It was Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock. No disqualification match. Apparently the match was made in no disqualification, I think, at the show itself. At the time, you had Deborah, who's Stone Cold's wife, managing The Rock. I remember that. Austin won the Rumble. Rock beat Kurt Angle for the championship at No Way Out 2001. And we had this feud. And I remember from this feud, the build-up to this shit, just their brawls back and forth was fucking amazing. When they would do like those exchanges, like back and forth with the punches and shit, I remember that. The match itself was good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Rock always selling the stunner the way he did. Even like, you know, yeah, back then that was great. Now as I watch, it's like kind of, you know, haha, he does like that fucking backflip, right? I think there's two people that sell the stunner amazingly. It's The Rock and Scott Hall, in my honest opinion, that I can think of. Right? And this match, again, was a good match. It was back and forth. There's blood, people kicking out of their finishers, all the fuck you want. But this match is, again, remembered more because of what happened at the end when Vince McMahon came out and helped out Stone Cold Steve Austin and helped him beat The Rock to become the WWF champion. After Steve Austin hit The Rock, and there's the phone again. God damn it. I'm kidding. God damn it. I feel like the phone wants to say something too. I'm just saying. Where was I here? Where was I? Yeah, so Austin was hitting The Rock with multiple chair shots, right? This was back in the day when chair shots were hit into the head, to the throat, and all that shit. I remember Austin would grab like the top of the chair, right? It starts just beating the fuck out of people with it, in the throat, in the torso area, and shit like that. And yeah, a bleeding Austin, a bleeding Rock. The match is over. Austin wins the championship, and you have to remember that vision, that moment where both Austin and McMahon shook hands, and everyone thought, "Oh my God, Austin about to stun McMahon," but instead, no. They celebrate, they embrace in the middle of the ring.
Oh, that was disgusting.
And for me, that was the end of the Attitude Era. That was the end. That's when the Attitude Era became no more. And you think about that, right? You look back on the Attitude Era, yeah, you had DX, you had Taker and Kane, but and also you had the Montreal Screwjob, which kind of like, you know, planted the seeds for the Attitude Era too. But when you think back on that Attitude Era, you think back of the McMahon-Austin rivalry, right? Over the years. And the moment they shook hands and they embraced, it was the end of the Attitude Era.
Right.
Your guys' thoughts on this match, Walter, Mike? Walter, I'll start with you. Now go into Mike.
So, this main event, it just left me with so many questions. So back then, it would have left me with a lot more questions, and not a bad way, all the way. I thought for the most part, well, pretty much this match was really good. Obviously, you're not gonna get like a in-ring, like technical type of match with these two, but it still works. It still works, and the fact that there was no DQ stipulation definitely fucking helped. And yeah, it's just the end was like, wow, Vince is gonna help out Stone Cold, the guy that he's been feuding for years. That was like, what the hell? You would have thought The Rock would turn heel. Nah, they got Stone Cold as the heel, and I get it. They wanted some change at the time, but you can't really do that with like your top. I mean, nowadays you kind of they a lot of people before Roman got his leukemia, before he announced that they wanted him to turn heel. They always wanted Cena to turn heel. Maybe this was the reason why they were scared to turn any of those guys heel, because of this. Like, they turned one of the top guys, pretty much the top guy, Stone Cold heel, and that didn't work out. That definitely didn't work out in the long run. Now, to be fair, Cena and Reigns weren't getting those reactions like Stone Cold was getting, so it's kind of hard to just say that, but it's just odd seeing him just turn heel out of nowhere. But I think the ending made a lot of sense. The fact that it took The Rock like 20 chair shots just to finally go down. I think that was pretty cool, but it's like, damn, they literally turned him heel, and it really didn't work out, to be honest. So
yeah, it did not work out.
Yeah.
And I agree with you on that. But they tried something different. Even Austin, till this day, was like, the one thing I would change is I would have stunned McMahon instead of shaking his hand.
yeah, that's what we're used to seeing. So that was like so weird that didn't happen at all.
Yeah. Big Mike, what about you, brother?
Yeah, really like this match. Confusing. I see why people say it was confusing and it was not needed for the ending. Friggin' Austin was red friggin' hot because they were in Texas. And was this his first time coming out to the Disturbed theme for tonight?
If I remember correctly, he came out to before. I remember in 2000 when he faced Rikishi in that street fight. I think it was at No Mercy or something, or Unforgiven or Survivor, one or the other. He came out to that theme song.
I wonder what the reactions were.
I liked it. I did enjoy that. I did enjoy the theme song.
Yeah, I think it's not that bad.
Yeah, thing's not that
Obviously,
bad.
it's not like the classic one that we're used to hearing, but I thought it was a nice chain, and I guess they were ready to turn him heel. That would have been like, yeah, that's your heel team.
Right. But yeah, I like the freaking all out brawl in the beginning. Freaking lights are still dim and Stone Cold's behind Rock and he just welts on him and they just go back.
Yeah. Completely. Absolutely. So guys, this was WrestleMania 17. What happened, Mike? What happened?
No, I was saying they busted each other open. They were trading sharpshooters.
That too.
Yeah.
Well, guys, this was WrestleMania 17. I enjoyed it. For a lot of people, this was the best WrestleMania of all time. I can understand why, because I feel like the key matches deliver in every single aspect. But I feel like overall, it was a great Mania. I can see why, again, I don't want to be that guy. Oh, you're wrong, Steve. No, because, again, I can see why it's in that category as the best WrestleMania of all time. Because, again, every key match delivered. Even to some aspect, the matches that were just there was just there for the point of it. Fine. But I thought this show delivered, in my opinion. Mike, what about you? Then I'll go on to Walter.
Oh yeah, man. This was a really good Mania, classic Mania, a Mania, and yeah, I just thoroughly enjoyed the show from top to bottom. All Manias have their terrible matches, but this card, with the great matches that it had, really hit all of those dull matches.
Okay. What about you, Walty?
Yes, I can't. You know, someone could be the guy to nitpick this Mania like crazy, and I'm certainly not going to be that guy. Obviously, it's going to have its bad matches. It didn't even have a lot of bad matches, to be honest. There was just so many good in this Mania. This was easily the best Mania, one of the best Manias of all time. I guess people can say the best Mania. I guess. I think just the fact that Stone Cold turning heel, I don't know if I want to consider it the best Mania with that type of ending, but to each their own. I thought all the matches delivered. It was entertaining as hell. They need more Manias like this. You know, there could be some bad stuff, but as long as most of it's good and relevant, not like 17 fucking matches that we're probably going to get at Mania, and half of them are just, you know, not worth like caring about. That's what I want. You know, stuff like this. Look, only 12 matches, or 11 minus the pre-show. It was pretty good, and I think the structure of the card wasn't that bad, to be honest. Even though all the lower card matches were first, you know, I think it was fine the way the card was. Really good Mania.
Fair enough, guys. Fair enough. And again, guys, this was our retro recap of WrestleMania 17. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Mike, remind all the dorks out there, what WrestleMania are we recapping next week?
WrestleMania 20 from Madison Square Garden.
Where it all begins again. I cannot wait to recap that one next week. I'll tell you guys what, for the last WrestleMania, what's our last Mania, Mike? What's the last one if we get to it? What's the last one?
The last one, if we get to it, 29.
That's gonna be, I guess, the week of WrestleMania. That should be fun. That should be fun.
Because y'all might experience the same thing.
Oh, no. Even longer. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
even fucking longer.
Exactly. So we'll see. We'll give more details next week about that. Because I want to do something different for the last one, but we'll get to it when we get to it. All right. So this was WrestleMania 17. Next week at WrestleMania 20. Thank you all for listening here tonight, or whenever the hell you're listening to this. Period. You guys are awesome as always. Again, you Sick Twisted Motherflower. All of you are fucking awesome. You can follow the Teamheel Podcast on Twitter at Teamheel Podcast. We are back live tomorrow here on the YouTube channel, where episode 286 of the Teamheel Podcast live on the channel. So much shit to get into. Believe me, so much shit to get into. Again, it's by the time you watch it, it's Friday, but you kind of get the idea. You can follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven. If you're on the channel right now, hit that subscribe button down below. We're almost at 1,800. Once we get to 2,000 subscribers, I'm going to do a giveaway of some capacity for you guys. Walter, let them know where they can find Mr. I Just Fucked Your Girl, Mr. I Just Came in Your Girl while you were watching, Mr. Queen Slayer himself. That's KWEEN Slayer. Where can they find the Queen Slayer out?
And the only place to find me out at Ham Walter on Twitter.
Big Mike, take us home, bruh.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at BigMike199519 and on YouTube at Big Mike's Wrestling Recap Show.
And with that being said, guys, this has been Team Up Podcast Extra. We'll be back next week with more Team Up Podcast Extra for WrestleMania 20. I'm Steve. He's Walter. He's Mike. I'm the Dork Slayer. Walter's the Queen Slayer. And Big Mike, the man with the golden charm. We are out like Janice Titties. Peace out, dorks.